What's going on, everybody? So a lot of you guys been asking me how I get my MPC and my DAW to talk to each other. I'm going to show you guys right now how I connect this and how it works for me. I think that the way that I have this set up is in a very efficient way of working with the MPC. If you don't feel like sampling in every time, if you don't feel like adjusting each pad to the sound that you want, I basically created a custom scale pack for the MPC2500 users. I'm going to drop a link below. You guys can purchase that. Anyone that has a 2000 XL or 2000, I am working on a scale pack for that. It's just taking a little bit more time just because it's an older machine and involves more programming. So that's going to be probably coming out this week. I'll keep you guys updated on that. So yeah, I basically have MIDI cables going out of the MPC going into my laptop. So it's USB going into the laptop, and of course MIDI cables going into the MPC. Now some of you guys, depending on the setup you guys have, you might go from the MPC MIDI into the MIDI ports of an interface, which then feeds into your laptop. Doesn't really matter, as long as you have some kind of signal going from the MPC into the laptop or computer, this will work. So yeah, I'm gonna switch the camera over. You guys can see how I set everything up. Hopefully you guys can learn something from this. If you guys have an MPC2500, I promise you these scales will cut down your workflow massive amount. I know it has for me. And yeah, so let's get into it. Here we go. Okay, so now I'm gonna show you the process of how I set everything up. First thing we're going to do is hit mode pad 2. We're going to go to where all of my scales are here. So we got harmonic minor, major pentatonic, major scale, melodic minor, and then we have minor pentatonic and minor scale. So let's just choose minor scale. We're going to hit program only, go back to main menu. So now here, you're going to select, by default, it's going to say drum. You're going to want to select MIDI. Then you're going to go over here to MIDI. Wherever your MIDI ports are connected to, if it's 1A or 1B, I'm connected in 1B. So I'm going to go here to 1B. And now go to program and select your scale, which is minor. Now if you see over here, it says C. If we hit window, you'll see this is all of the scales for each pad. Now if you hit all and see it says C at the first pad right there, if I were to select E, now we're in E minor scale. So, and then the banks is going to select the octaves. Okay, so you see in Ableton here I have the DX7 pulled up here by Arturia. I have all my tracks just being input monitoring right now, and nothing's being recorded. Only thing that's being recorded is my microphone and the MPC, just so you can hear the click track of the MPC. Alright, so in the MPC you see I have channel 1, channel 2, and channel 3. Now the reason why mine says 1B, 2B, 3B is because my MIDI ports are plugged into the B section of the MPC. The A is plugged into my ASR10. Now, if you have them plugged into A, you would use 1A, 2A, 3A, and so on. In Ableton, I have the DX7 channel 1. I have the bass going to channel 2. And this pad sound going to channel 3. Now if I were to have all these on channel 1, all these would play at the same time. So if you want to experiment and kind of sound design and kind of combine multiple sounds into one, you could do that, but for this video I'm just going to have everything separated. If I go in the MPC here, you can see everything is in the key of E minor. And right here, you'll be able to see one note I'm pressing. We got C, D, E, F sharp, and so on. And then this will allow me to change the octaves. So let's record just a 2-bar loop. Let's see what we got. All right, so we got that in there. If we go to track 2, now again, you don't have to do anything in Ableton right now. Just by me going to track 2, it's naturally going to trigger that VST. So let's record that. Well, I guess we'll play just a root note. So we'll go to E here. Now, if you did want to adjust the volume, you would just have to do that in Ableton. There are ways to do it in the MPC, but it's not really as effective. It's quicker to do it this way. And again, we go to track 3. That's going to trigger the pad. So let's add something in there. Now, if you wanted to sequence, say you want to make a new sequence and you add drums in, all that kind of stuff, you can actually go to track mute and mute what you don't want. And that will naturally mute Ableton. All right. Now, if you want to add drums, I'm not going to add drums because, again, I'm kind of keeping this subject just to the MIDI information. So if you want to add drums, of course, you would just go to track 4, load your drums in, do what you got to do, and so on. Okay, so now that you have all your tracks in there, now you want to sequence everything. The way I sequence into Ableton now is I will go in the MPC, and here on their sync, I would set my sync in to 2. And again, that's because I have my MIDI plugged into the B ports on the back. If you guys have A, you would be in 1. But since I'm in B, I'll be in 2. That's all you have to do. MIDI clock, receive MMC, leave that on. Don't touch anything else. You don't have to change the output just to sync in. Okay, so now I'm going to record enable the MIDI tracks. Once I do that, and I hit play and record in Ableton, it is going to start recording the MIDI information from the MPC in real time into Ableton. So let's check that out. So as you see, it's recording right now in real time. You can see on the MPC and in Ableton, they're both synced up. Okay, so now that the information's recorded in Ableton, I can go in and I can change notes, I can move things around, I can delete things if I want, move things around. Yeah, I can move things around, all that good stuff. So now that I have the MIDI information recorded into Ableton, I'm able to, again, do whatever I want with it. I usually like to bounce the MIDI into wave in the MPC so I can manipulate it more before I actually print it. Sometimes I do print it this way. It all depends on kind of what I'm trying to get out of the track. If you did want to do it this way and you have your drums in the MPC, you're not ready to bounce out yet, what you can do is save the session in Ableton to match the name of the MPC. So when you reload the MPC, say you named it, Ableton beat, in Ableton, you would also name that file Ableton beat. So when you both open the MPC name and you open up the Ableton session, you'll be kind of back to where you were to kind of, you know, keep working. So that's another way of doing it. I usually don't do it that way, but hey, if it works for you, you know, by all means do it that way. So yeah, once that's all done, I kind of import my drums and all that good stuff. I run that through the console. Again, this is more just on the topic of MIDI because that's kind of what you guys asked for. If you guys do want to see more of how I export the drums, how I kind of do all that stuff, leave me a comment or, you know, shoot me a DM on Instagram or whatever, you know, however you guys want to reach me. And yeah, I'll show you guys more process. Again, I'm going to be doing more videos like this. I'm kind of just doing it more on what people ask for compared to just me just doing random videos. So the more you guys ask for certain topics, the more I'm going to make more of these videos. So again, hope you guys enjoy it. Thanks for rocking out with me. Subscribe. And don't forget to cop that scales pack. I'm going to leave the link in the description. Check it out. I appreciate you guys so much. And until next time, I'm out. Peace.